Good morning. Hello to all my friends. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you've been having a wonderful holiday end of December. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to get set up, wait a couple minutes, and we'll get started. So I had to show off that I got my YouTube swag. Oh, and now my thing is playing. Got some background noise here. Awesome. Well, as always, I'll get right into this. My name is Julianne Duffy, and hopefully this will stop moving. Everyone keeps bumping my camera here. My name is Julianne Duffy. I am the content creator of Breathe Within Yoga. I am a yoga instructor, oracle card reader, and if you see a lot of my shorts, I am a dog enthusiast. I love dogs. My husband's judging me for that. Not time to judge. And my intention when I do all the videos is to help, heal, and serve humanity. And my intention is to assist you as we go forward. So today we're going to dive into a beautiful seated yoga routine. So make sure that you do have your chair handy. We don't want any handles on it, so make sure that you've got a sturdy chair without any arms. And we're going to continue on what I've been working on over these last few weeks, which has been going over the 8 limbs of yoga. Yoga is the science behind religion. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean is yoga is the basis that most religions are built on. And I come from the side of spirituality, and when I came across yoga, it made sense. I'm not somebody who really resonated with organized religion. Yoga and the beliefs and the philosophies always resonated more than organized religion. I'm not against any of it. Whatever floats your boat is fantastic. I'm here to expand your understanding and knowledge of what it is. So let's dive right into it, and then we're going to get into our holiday stretching, especially during this time of the year. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's winter. It's a little bit chilly, and if you haven't been moving as much because you've been having a lot of treats and Christmas celebrations or whatever you're celebrating, Hanukkah, and maybe not moving as much or getting outside as much, this is for today. I wanted to focus on getting ourselves moving and feeling good. So again, please do like, share, subscribe if you know anybody that would benefit from doing this, and we'll get right into the movements. And if you are interested, I do have personalized sessions and weekly classes, which can all be found in my description as well. So let's go through first kind of a review of the 8 limbs of yoga. And I have my little cheat sheet because I am not perfect in any way, shape, or form, and I don't memorize everything. So when you go through yoga, which is the science behind religion, you start with the pranayamas. So mindful, controlled breath allows us to clear yamas. The yamas are the first one. Oh my goodness. You can't tell it's first thing in the morning. So these are principles towards living ethically. So that's like non-stealing, non-violence, that type of idea. Then you go into the second limb, which is the niyamas, which is how we want to live. So it's like doing the work for ourselves, the spiritual work, the discipline with our connection to the divine, God, whatever you resonate with. Then you've got the anasanas. That's what we're going to work on today. These are the positions, the stretches, the movements. Hello, Irene, my friend. Thank you for joining me. I'm excited that you're here. And pranayama would be the next limb, which is the breath work. We do, this is called Breathe Within Yoga, so it's a lot about that breath work. Thank you, Irene, and thank you, Outdoor Bros. Hi, welcome. Thank you for coming. Last week, we discussed the pratyahara, which is the first stage of getting into relaxation and into kind of that Zen-like state. So that's where our conscious withdrawal from the outside world, we're starting to turn inwardly. This is the idea of like getting into mindfulness. Now we go into so that's our sixth part of it, which is the dharana. And if I pronounced it poorly, I apologize. Focused concentration by disciplining the mind to observe the thoughts objectively and slowing down the thinking process. So that's what we're going to really focus on, is slowing down our mind today to become more aware of anything that might be coming up. Okay. So that is kind of the preface again of the 8 limbs of yoga that we're reviewing, and we're going to get right into the stretches. And hello, Vaughn Dylan, I apologize. Can you tell what a monkey because my son says what a monkey? Well, I don't know what to say. Can you tell what a monkey because my son says what a monkey? I'm not really sure what that means, but that's a little funny. I'm just gonna say it's a little funny. Well, let's get started because, you know, we want to move, we want to get ourselves feeling good, especially during this holiday time, and stretching and moving and just getting into this moment so we can manifest or come into this new year in the best alignment we can, right? And Russian agent, hello from New York City. I hope it's beautiful there. I'm down on the Gulf Coast right now. We had tornado warnings last night, so that was exciting. Very, very exciting. Mind Mystic, hello, Mind Mystic. Hello. Thank you all for joining me. I appreciate it. I really do. Well, let's get started. Let's come into getting ourselves centered so we can go forward with relaxation. Oh, and Russian agent, you're from the Bronx? Nice. Awesome. Actually, I know somebody who was from the Bronx as well, and now he lives out in New Jersey. But, I don't know how many drones are hovering over his house. That's a whole other story there. I don't know, do you see a lot of drones in New Jersey as well, or in the Bronx, like they were having in New Jersey? I don't know if there was a lot of sightings there as well. Okay, let's get started. So what I'd like you to do, as I mentioned earlier, we're going to find our seat. We want to avoid having any handles. And I'm not actually American, so I'm going to say that I have no opinion. I have no opinion on anything politics. I'm just gonna say that. Let's just no. I'm all about personal responsibility and taking care of ourselves. Ryan called him a monkey. Oh, well, you know what? We are humans. We're humans, and they might call a monkey. It's interesting you mentioned the monkey there, Irene, because the reality is, we can have the monkey mind. Most of us will have that monkey mind where your mind is wandering around. I definitely can appreciate that you're thinking about this, you think about that, and then you get distracted by this. And I know a lot of the times it probably overlaps with the idea of ADHD or whatever they want to phrase with us. But it's about getting our mind more centered, that we can be clear, so we don't attach to things that drive us insane, that we can detach from things to let ourselves continue going forward. Because most of the time when we're unhappy, stressed, and have anxiety, we are stuck on thoughts. We're stuck on something that we might replay in our mind, what we maybe should have said or shouldn't have said. It's usually a past or a future thing that will cause our anxiety. So when we can get that monkey mind under control, then we can start to heal ourselves as well and start to feel better, because that anxiety really does pull us out, or the stress or the depression. And coming back forward, that is the point that I feel with yoga, is really to heal ourselves, that we can focus in this moment, because the only thing we have is right now. Right now, as I'm speaking to you, is the only moment that exists. When I started the video, is no longer a relevant moment, and the end of the video hasn't happened. So the only moment that really does exist is the present time. So the more we can be in the present moment, the more empowered we are, and the more we can heal ourselves. And Irene, thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate it. Thank you so much. And it can separate us. We don't want to be separate. We are. I was actually speaking to my mother this week when I was talking to her, that how I kind of perceive reality is that if you think of a bunchum, I don't know if you know what a bunchum is, or those balls that have like little plastic little spikes that kind of go around, right? They you know, like that. That the ball is God, consciousness. That is all of us. And that we are each those little individual spikes perceiving this reality, but we're all internally connected. We don't realize how much we are reflections of each other. Yeah, we're not all going to get along, and you know, because we all have different experiences, and we're all came here with different reasons and different things to spiritually progress with. However, we are really all connected, and the more that we can empower ourselves as humanity to even respect each other, that we aren't separate. We might have different ideals, we might have different beliefs, but I feel like under everything, all humans want is to be loved, to be respected, and to be welcome to exist in this reality and be safe, right? And so when humanity decides that it's time for us to wake up, we will have a huge amount of power, which we already have. Unfortunately, a lot of us don't. We think there's a lot of things outside of us, but everything really does come back to how we perceive things, how we are. And when we start to get more connected, work on ourselves, find that ability to come more and more into the moment to help kind of rein in that monkey mind, like you mentioned, Irene, the more we will be able to create a better life for everybody, right? Because we are super connected. We are all connected. You know, whether we're biologically connected or not, we're all part of the same species. We are. And you know, and it's difficult for myself, like especially when I don't actually believe war is something that humans want. That can be a very controversial topic, but however, I don't believe humans and a normal person like yourselves that are coming and watching me, my friends, none of us want war. None of us want people to suffer. Nobody wants that. It's a system that is archaic, that I don't even know if it's really human, that creates these things so we stay separated and fighting each other. So instead of finding the common ground amongst our brothers and sisters and people of all different races, colors, and religions, we fight each other to keep ourselves from being this strong humanity. You know, that's I guess that's a bit of a lecture, but there you go. Social can't agree to disagree. Well, and you know, that's, yeah, can't agree to disagree. Exactly. Like accepting that all of us do see things a little bit differently. And, you know, I remember one of my teachers talking about that, you know, what is really right or wrong. Now, for ourselves, you know, what feels right for you is going to be maybe different than what feels right for other people. And that's not right or wrong as long as you're not hurting people. Like inherently, like with the yoga yamas, is non-stealing, non-violence, you know, essentially being respectful to other people. And that's all other people really want. So even if you don't believe the same thing, you don't have to believe the same thing. We have to respect each other and respect that there's differences. And the idea of war is not about respecting. It's about controlling something. It always is. And the people, us humanity, are always the one that suffer. The system, elites, whatever you want to call it, they profit. They profit from it, while the rest of us lose family members, see the pain. We clean up the mess of something that I'm going to say 99% of humanity don't want to see. And then, you know, then we have people fighting each other for whatever side of this war they're on. That that doesn't help us. It doesn't help any of us. I know for myself that the human suffering is something we really want to take away. We want to be in alignment, and we don't want to see people suffer. It doesn't really matter what culture you're at. We don't want that suffering. So if we think about that, it's really coming into this new year is going to be an interesting year. This is going to be an interesting year. 2024 was absolutely interesting and crazy. And hello Jermaine from Jamaica. I hope you're having a beautiful day. I hope it's really nice and warm there. We had tornadoes tornado warnings yesterday here in the area I'm in at this moment. And thank you. You are a beautiful soul as well. I appreciate you joining me. So as we come into 2025, that's the year we're going into, this is the idea, is that there's more of us than there is of the other side. There's more humanity, there's more humans, and we want to connect, and we want to be loved and appreciated and accepted for who you are. And manifest or create the reality that is beneficial for everybody to excel within. So as we come into this practice today, I encourage you to take a moment to decide, what is it that you would like to create in your life? What would you like to see coming into 2025? I'm sure you've thought about this many times in the last few weeks. What would you like to see coming forward? And kind of bring it into your mind's eye, kind of bring it up into your mind of what you want to see coming forward, because we're going to put that intention out. Maybe you've been working on it. If you have been joining me for all these sessions, I usually come every week. We've been working on intentions of creating what we want to do going forward. And that's also changing our perspective, because the more we can change our perspective, the more we can change our perspective, the more our reality does change. So when we perceive things completely different, our reality around it will change. It may not be instantaneous, like, oh, I'm going to perceive this different, so it immediately changes. Maybe not that fast. However, it will change with the way we see things. How old am I? Well, I'm a young chick of 42. I'm okay. I'm not embarrassed. I'm 42. I feel super lucky to have had all the experiences I've had in my life, because that's led me to where I am now. Where last week, if you were joining me, I was called cringe. I'm like, well, isn't that the new cool now? If you're not cringe, you're not cool, right? But anyways, let's go back as I go on my little off tangent so I can easily be distracted. Back to what we want to see for the new year. So maybe it's an image, maybe it's some wording. How do we want to come into this new year, and what do we want to see created? Do we want to see more harmony, more peace? Are we going to choose that even if things outside of us that we cannot control happen in a way we don't necessarily like or want to happen, can we perceive our reality the way that we want, like the way that we want, and continue to create reality in that form, right? And we are powerful beings. We are all connected. And the more of us, there is scientific studies and proof that when people en masse meditate, put intentions of peace, things change. So the more of us that work on ourselves, spiritually progressing, no matter if you're in a religion or not, doesn't really matter. If you are working on being more connected to source, consciousness, God, whatever it is you resonate with, and raising our vibration to become these beings of love, light, and healing, we will change this reality. We can. It's scientifically proven. We change things by perceiving and existing. On that last note, that actually reminds me of the one experiment. I think it's called the dot experiment. That might be wrong. However, the experiment essentially is that it's a quantum physics experiment. And they're doing this experiment, and whatever, this light photons or whatever are being pushed through this window thing, and they get this outcome. And they keep seeing it. And they're like, oh, this is great. The machine gets accidentally left on. They all leave for the day, come back the next day, and they're like, this is so weird. The outcome, they realize the machine's still on, and they're looking at what produced, and it was chaotic. There was nothing. It wasn't what the outcome of the scientists thought and had seen previously. So they were redoing this experiment. So the fact that, just to summarize up this experiment that I'm not doing justice for, is that the observer, us, the humans, the perception, our observation changed the outcome of the quantum physics experiment. That's how that works, right? Is that that person observing it, knowing it, expecting that outcome, changed the outcome. When there was no observer, so when it was left on at night and nobody knew it was on, it had a completely different outcome. That is how powerful we are. So when we can, in numbers, really connect, really take that time, we will change this reality into something magical, because we have that ability. And magic is really, science that's not understood. Like, there's a lot of things we don't understand. I was watching a lady who was talking about our physical cues, and then even like how our smells affect people, that people would be smelling somebody who was sweating from fear versus sweating from just exercise, and how somebody would, just picking up the hormone of the fear would immediately bring that other person into fear. That is how powerful we are on a level that we don't maybe physically see. And oh, thank you, Violet. Thank you. You're beautiful as well. You're a very beautiful soul, and I know you are. You sound like Sandy Cheeks from SpongeBob. Oh, thanks. I guess it's better than being cringe. I appreciate that. Is I saying that right? I apologize if I didn't say that right. I've only ever been born knowing English, and I have worked on attempting to learn how to speak other languages and say things. Often, if I'm trying to say a name, I have to go and listen to it and then repeat it. That's just not my skill level. Do a flip. I don't have enough space to do a flip. Little that it would be safe to do a flip. Okay, round it in. So we've got in our mind's eye, or our idea of what do we want to create? What do we want to perceive as we go forward into 2025? What is it that you want to see? And maybe on the side note, what is it that you would like to see on a larger scale around the world in this entire, for all of humanity? What would you like to see? Bring that in. It's not right or wrong. This is your perspective, and this is how you're going to help assist the reality. So whatever it is, keep it in your mind's eye. And then we're going to come back through the 8 limbs of yoga to our breath. And that's how we're going to start to center ourselves as we start to become connected. So sitting up tall, bring your hands, place them on your lap. You're going to lengthen through the torso. Imagine someone's pulling us right from the top of the head. And we want to keep our chin level. So we want to avoid the chin to the chest. We're going to keep our chin level. We're going to bring our shoulders up towards our ears and then roll them down and away. We want to have a nice space between the shoulders and the ears. Shoulders are down. Head is elongated. We don't want to have the chin to the sky. We want the chin level, and our core is active. So to activate the core, belly button to spine, pulling up on the pelvis, and hands on the thighs. Now, wherever you're comfortable, you can close the eyes. I love closing my eyes. I find that for myself, it really helps me turn inwardly. But maybe that's not for you, and that's okay. So you find that non-moving spot to gaze at. So something that's non-moving, something to give your focus, or close the eyes. And we're going to do a very simple breath to start, 3 rounds of that, and then we're going to add a little bit more complexity to it. So as we breathe in, we're going to breathe in, feel the breath come in through the front, the sides, maybe even imagining the back of the body. Just take that beautiful deep breath in, attempting to get the breath into the belly, and then we're going to slowly let that exhale start to go. We're going to do that 2 more times. So it's very simple, deep, full breath. Another beautiful deep breath in. And then that slow, gentle exhale. 1 more breath, another beautiful deep breath in. And then as we let that go, letting the breath go, let the breath come back to its natural pace for this moment. With the eyes closed or gazing at that non-moving spot, take that opportunity to notice. Notice how you're feeling in this moment. It's checking in. Becoming aware of our current state. How are we in this moment? That is the only moment that exists, is right now. How does the body feel? How is the mind? This practice alone is extremely powerful. You can do it anywhere at any time. And allow yourself to take those moments, 3 deep breaths, and check in. Check in with yourself. Take that opportunity to see how everything is in this moment. And then whatever might come up, because ideally there's probably a lot of thoughts. Going back to that, what Irene had mentioned about the monkey mind. If there's maybe some different thoughts, some judgments, notice them. Notice them coming in. It's not bad. It is what it is. And then we choose, because this is where we come into our choice, to let those thoughts go with the next exhale. So whatever might be wandering around, maybe it's silent, maybe it's very peaceful. Wonderful. If there's some different thoughts, we're letting them slowly go with the exhale. If any are lingering, intend that with that next breath, that you are releasing them. You are releasing the distractions for this moment. Let's take one more breath in. And then as we exhale, we're going to come into this very simple breath again, but we're going to add an extra dimension. We're going to notice the top of the inhale and notice the bottom of the exhale. So what that means, as we inhale, once we get to the top and we can't bring any more air in, we're going to take a moment, notice, hold the breath for that micromillimeter. We don't want to stress ourselves out. And then we're going to exhale, letting the breath go. And when there's more breath, notice again that movement at the bottom. So when you're ready, we're going to do it 3 times. I'm having some internet glitches. So keep breathing, even if I disappear. Keep your breath going. As long as you're breathing, you're still alive and you're still doing yoga. So let's take that deep breath in. The moment at the top. And then exhale. When there's no more breath, hold at the bottom for that moment. Again, let's do that again. Another deep breath in. Moment at the top. Exhale. Moment at the bottom. One more time. Deep breath in. And notice, and then let that all go. Take a moment, close those eyes again. Turn inwardly if that feels appropriate. And notice after those 6 focused breaths, how are we feeling? Breath alone can change our entire perspective. So we take that moment and notice, do we feel a little more relaxed, a little more centered? And this you can do anywhere, anytime. Getting ourselves back into that present moment. Let's add a little bit of movement, making sure we continue to breathe deeply. So on the inhale, let's bring those arms overhead, reaching towards the sky. Let the hands touch. We're going to bring those hands into heart center prayer position, thumbs pointing towards our chest. And let's add a twist. We're going to gently twist over to the right. Let that right elbow go towards the right, keeping those seated bones in the chair. So we start to gaze over the shoulder. We're going to use those core muscles, belly button to spine. Inhale, exhale, coming back through center. Take that moment, deep breath in. Let's twist over to the left. The gaze can follow, of course. And use those core muscles to bring ourselves back through center. When we twist, this helps with digestion. So especially if we're eating a lot of things right now, maybe we're eating a lot of healthy, maybe we're eating a lot of not so healthy, maybe we're just eating a lot. This will help with digestion. Twists are wonderful. Let's do one more set. Lengthening, deep breath in, exhale, twisting to the right. Deep breath in, lengthen, and use those muscles to come back through center. Another beautiful deep breath in, and gently twist over to the and bring yourselves back. We're going to let our hands come down to our thighs. Take a moment again and check in. Today's focus is really about checking in with ourselves. The more we understand how we're feeling, how our body is feeling, and how open that communication, the more we can heal. And that was my dog you might have heard in the background. Let's take another moment in. And as we check in, let's bring back into our mind's eye, whether we hear the words, whether we see it, what is it that we want to create for 2025? Close those eyes or find that non-moving spot to gaze at. And in your mind's eye, bringing in that intention. Maybe we make it a positive statement that I am healthy. Maybe that's what we want to create for 2025. More health. I am healthy and abundant. I am healthy and abundant, and the world is at ease, or the world is at a true connection to the divine. Whatever it might be, Let's see, maybe we see words, maybe we hear them, maybe we have both. Whatever resonates with you. And let's bring that intention to what we want. I am healthy and abundant. Let's see it one more time, hear it one more time. I am. And then we let it go for this moment. Let's continue. So we've done a little bit of twists. Let's work a little bit into the upper body. So we're going to bring our left arm up to shoulder height. So we're going to have it straight out to shoulder height, fingers pointing forward. And we're going to bring that arm across our chest as we gently hug it with our right arm. We're going to start to feel that stretch into the shoulder, upper back, into the neck, especially if we're holding a lot of stress during the holidays, into the neck and into the upper back. Deep breath in, making sure we're still sitting tall. We've got that active core, belly button to spine, lengthening through the torso. And then we can start to gaze over the shoulder, if that feels good. Always listening to your body. Your body is your feedback of how you are doing. Start to gaze over the shoulder towards the back of the room. Deep breath in, lengthen. Exhale, maybe imagine we can hug that arm a little bit closer towards us. Deep, beautiful breath. And slowly bring our gaze back through center. And then from here, keeping arms as is, that left arm, we're going to stack the elbows on top of each other. Now this might be, might be enough right here. If this is too much, you can always just do this. This is your hug. That's perfect. If it feels, if you've got a little more space, we're going to bring the back of the arms to touch. If we've got even more space, maybe we can interlace those hands coming into our eagle arms. So whether we're hugging, arms touching, or interlacing the hands, perfect, whatever works. We're going to get those elbows up to shoulder height. We imagine that I'm pulling your arms, so I'm pulling your arms towards me. So feel a beautiful, wonderful stretch into the upper back, into the shoulders, where we hold a lot of tension, a lot of tightness. Close the eyes if that feels good. And we're going to come back to those deep breaths once more. So that beautiful deep breath in. And then that slow, gentle exhale. And notice with the breath. Notice if there's any thoughts. Maybe there's some sensations coming up. Notice whatever comes up with that breath. And then let that all go with the exhale. Let's do one more breath here into the shoulders and the upper back. And then wherever we're at, if we've got our eagle arms, gently release them. If we're hugging ourselves, gently release them. Take a moment, shake it out. Feeling that space being created. The longer you hold it, the more release you'll get. Let's go with the other side. So let's bring that right arm up to shoulder height, fingers pointing forward. We're going to hug that arm across our chest. We're going to start to gaze over the shoulder, looking towards the back of the room. Keeping with that strong core, deep breath in. And then as we exhale, maybe imagine we can hug our arm a little bit closer towards us. Noticing again, taking this moment, because the only moment that exists is this present moment. So noticing at this present moment, how does this feel? And then letting that go with the exhale. Let's take one more breath. And then bringing our head back through center, let's give ourselves those eagle arms or hug. So once again, depending on each side, listen to that to your body. How is the shoulders, how are the arms? Maybe we're hugging. That's perfect. Let those elbows be stacked. Maybe the back of the arms are touching. Maybe we can interlace those hands. And then wherever we go, we're getting those elbows up to shoulder height, imagining someone's pulling those arms away. So feel a beautiful stretch into the upper back, shoulders. Deep breath in. Exhaling, imagining a bit more space, or we're breathing some space. Maybe there's some tightness into the neck and into the upper back. Let's take one last breath. And slowly again, release those arms and shake it out. So these are very simple movements that you can do at any point. And that can help you get back into the breath and opening up, especially that upper body. Let's continue. Let's take a moment first, back to the breath, back to our intention. What do we want to create for 2025? Again, for ourselves and for the collective of humanity. So again, you can close your eyes. Maybe you see it. Maybe you're hearing it. I am connected. I am abundant. I am healthy. The world is awakened. Humanity is becoming one. And then whatever it is, let's see it one more time, hear it, and then let it slowly go. Let's continue. I'm going to move back a little bit so you can see me a little bit better here, because I'm quite close to the camera at this moment. I'm going to move back a little bit here so you can see. I got my Christmas winter pants on. Got to be comfy when you're doing your stretches, right? And what we're going to do, we're going to do a forward fold, and we're going to start to stretch out through the back. So making sure those seated bones stay grounded. We're going to take a deep breath in, reach those arms overhead. If it feels good, doing a little back bend, opening and imagining the heart center is facing towards the sky. And then as we exhale, we're going to gently fold over the legs. Let the torso come right to the thighs. Let everything be heavy coming into this forward fold. And when we're here, we're going to hold for three deep breaths once again. So that deep, full inhale, we're coming away from the legs. The exhale, we imagine we can get a little bit closer to the floor. Another beautiful deep breath in. The exhale takes us a little bit more. We might be feeling some sensation, some stretching into the back, into the hips as we let go. One last breath here. And surrender with that exhale, letting yourself go as close to those thighs as possible towards the floor, completely surrendering. Gently, we'll start to come back up. Keep your chin tucked. If you do get dizzy, take your time as we gently come back up through seated. And while we're here, let's activate those core muscles. So making sure we do have some space between the back of the chair and our torso. And what we're going to do is we're going to get opposite elbow to opposite leg, and we're going to bring that leg up. And we're kind of doing like a side oblique stretch. So we're going to bring the elbow and that knee together, and then back up and through center. They may not touch, that's okay. They might touch, no worries. Go with whatever you got. Today, in this moment, do what feels most appropriate. So again, sitting up tall, let's go with the opposite side. So we're going to get that right elbow to the left knee. We're bringing it towards each other. Squeeze, hold for a moment. Inhale back through center. Release the arm. Let's do that again on the left side, left arm, right leg. So getting to 90 degrees, bringing that elbow and that knee towards each other, twisting. Inhale back through center and release. Once again, right elbow, left leg, bringing together. And inhale back through center and release. Notice how it feels. Notice and check in. Hopefully we're feeling some in the core. Maybe we felt it in our legs or arms. Take a moment, come back to that awareness. Once again, can close those eyes, find that non-moving spot. Let's turn inwardly once more on what we want to create for 2025. Let's add some extra dimensions. So maybe we're only seeing words, or maybe we're hearing words. Maybe we're intending we hear or see the words. Let's imagine visualizing ourselves that way. So if we are creating health or abundance or both, in your mind's eye, in your imagination, and this might be challenging, so keep the judgment at bay. You know, we are human. Often as we get older, we lose our ability to imagine. It's not that we can't get it back, we just aren't imagining things anymore. So this is that moment to start to create in your mind's eye. What does it look like for you to be in your perfect health? How do you feel? What does it look like? Who are you with when you are healthy or abundant or both? So take this moment to see yourself in 2025 in that health, that abundance, peace, whatever it is. Imagine yourself there. And often when we're doing these classes, we'll hold that for a lot longer so we can really get into the dimensions of coming back to our imagination and back to creating in our mind's eye, what does that look like? And we'll take another deep breath in, last moment of imagining ourselves, and then let that go. And if there's what we want to bring for society, let's bring that up for a moment. Maybe more connection, more understanding, more love, more getting along and connecting on how we are human. What does that look like for you, and where you would like to see humanity go in 2025? And even if you can't quite picture it, that's okay. It can take some practice to get back into being able to visualize or imagine these things. So intend. You can just use those words to help you create that. Let's take one more breath in. Harmony, connection. And then as we let that go, sending it out to be created. Intending it's being created because we put our perception to it. Like that experiment, that quantum physics experiment I spoke about at the beginning. Us perceiving changes that reality. Let's take one more breath. And then as we exhale, we're coming back to our centering. Now, this was a very short practice. We did a little bit. We did the core, legs, upper body, a little bit of stretching. So I encourage you, because I love teaching and going very deep into these, to check out the description, go to my website, join me for a full class. That is the best way to do this. Because when I'm here, I'm teaching you some little things. I unfortunately can't or don't really have the time to go through a full deep class. But when you join me in my classes, we get to go very deep. And we work on it each week and grow and advance from where we start. So the last thing I want to do, we've put out our intention, we've done some breath work, we've done some stretches. I love oracle cards because we are inherently psychic. We are. Whether we want to acknowledge that or understand, or that humanity is inherently psychic. So for those that have joined me, for all my friends here that have joined me today, I'm going to pull a card for you beautiful, beautiful people, my beautiful friends here, on what does 2025 have in store for us that are here doing the work. Expand our consciousness, expand our spirituality, and make ourselves feel better, or just expand our health, which is the mind, the body, and of course your soul. So what do the divine guides, what is their takeaway message for going into 2025? And I just feel it out. I get this little tingling, and I'm like, this is the message for us. This seems quite appropriate to what we talked about today. Building blocks. We are building a new reality. Building blocks is what's happening as we come into 2025. You can see this beautiful thing. It's not quite built. We're in the process of laying new foundation. We're going to have a lot of new things. And part of that building is the fact that a lot of the old, seeing ourselves as separate, seeing ourselves as, well, that person's not me. Seeing ourselves as, that we're separate from each other. Seeing ourselves as the way this old reality has been is going to be breaking down. Because we have to rebuild it. Rebuilding it into something that is going to be beneficial for humanity. And all of you, my friends, that have joined me today are part of that. There's a reason you felt called to come and watch me. Even if you were only here for a few seconds, or whether you stayed with me for this entire time, I totally appreciate it. And this message is for you. We are coming into a new year, and we are building a new reality. And I truly believe it will be better for all of us, and more conducive to where we should go. Whereas humanity, we are growing. And there's lots and lots of things that haven't been we have not been allowed to have. So kind of going back to the comment about the drones, you know, is that technology, where is that technology from? Who has that technology that we're not privy to know about? Those are going to be the changes. I truly believe as we come into this new year and into the next coming years, we're going to get 0 point free energy. It exists. It's not a magical make-believe thing. Science has proven it, very much like that quantum physics, that what we perceive changes the reality. So as I end for today, and again, I thank you so much for joining me, all of you beautiful people, Irene and Benjamin, thank you. And unfortunately, I don't speak Spanish. I missed that message. Violet, Vignesh, Kai, thank you again for joining me. I really do appreciate it. And I intend that when I do these sessions and put my funny videos out or my inspirations, that they will assist in helping, healing, and serving you, especially as we go forward. The more we heal ourselves, the more that will be reflected back to us in this reality. And it's not easy. It's not easy to take the time to sit and breathe or take the time and do some movements. It is a commitment that you choose to do. So if you would like some help with that and work a little bit deeper and get more healing and more into this, please do check out in my description. There is links to my website. I'm offering a seated class that will be starting in the new year, and I actually have a restorative class, which if you really want to go deep, this is a wonderful class. It starts on Monday, so tomorrow night. That is also up there too. You can so like, share, subscribe. That's also a great way to support me, and I would appreciate that if you totally did. That would be wonderful. And, you know, let other people know. If there is somebody that you feel that this would resonate with, please do share it with them. I don't totally appreciate that. And as we go into the new year, I will be back. We'll touch base again. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart that you spent this time with me. I am very appreciative. I really am. And I intend that there is something that you took away to assist you as we go forward. Keep putting out that intention of what you want to create for yourself and what you want to see en masse and in this new reality. You are part of the Creator. You are not separate. We're all part of it. And when we can all become aligned that we want humanity to thrive, be peaceful, and be free, we can do that. We together can change everything to be so much better. We're not separate. We are part of a common unity, which is humanity. So please do check out my information in the description. And until next week, and I hope you have a beautiful New Year's, and take the moments to breathe, connect, and set out your intention. Namaste. Which means the light within me acknowledges and sees the light within you, my beautiful, beautiful friends. Thank you.